Is it just starting up in the market, or you've been there
I've
before?
got a big show for the next 3 days, and I usually sell on the internet, so I usually tissue wrap it.
I came here about 40 years ago when the first day I left school, so you know, I've seen a few changes around here. When the fruit market moved, I've been lucky to survive, but slowly there's been more and more little markets starting up around here, and the little shops have been coming in to me buying bags and other bits and pieces. It's something I enjoy doing, really, and I've made lots of friends in the business, and most of my customers are more like my friends than customers.
My business is a little Bangladeshi curry house here in Shoreditch. Basically, we specialise in home-cooked food, food that I was brought up with, really. So sort of, you know, kind of lots of vegetables, fish dishes, you know, kind of that homemade sort of food. So I was raised above a restaurant and I lived in a restaurant, so it's kind of there in me, I think, to sort of open up my own place, really. So it was always something that I wanted to do.
I live in East End. It's a community. We deal in Africa fabrics. This is a typical bride's wear, an Africa in Nigerian bride dress, ready for wedding. This is called ashoki with beads. We deal in laces for special occasion. We deal in wax to make so many attire. Some people use it for cushion, bed sheets, furnitures, but we use it, we wear it.
It started with my grandparents coming over in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and they used to work for the guy that owned it, and they eventually bought it off him in like 1910, I think it was, and so it's been in our family since then.
How have you been waiting? Seen you for a while. Yeah, busy. I've been seeing you.
We've always been a part of the community since that time there.
So you'll probably see it every day then?
Pellicci's and places like it are like the glue within communities that hold people in relationship with each other. And in today's society, they're becoming increasingly more important.
My father sort of started the business off when I was a child, and it was fun growing up with that, you know, having your own dad with his own business and being in a position where you could add to it, you know, and rather than being a lawyer or an accountant or a banker, go straight into retail and meet the public, and very enjoyable.
And then I just took a business loan out from family and friends and decided I'd open a business, and I came across this hardware store. Here I am, 5 years on, kind of thing, running a hardware store. We had no knowledge. I didn't know what a hammer was. If a customer came and said I want a club hammer, I'll be like, 1 second, and I'll be pretending to check my inventory on my computer, but what I'd be doing is googling the picture to see what a club hammer looked like, or what a chisel looked like, or a reciprocator saw looked like. And then I'd say, oh, I think I got that somewhere, and then I'd wish out somewhere, and I'd go and get it, and I'd say, there you go. And that's how we got by it, but I never gave the customer the impression that I didn't know what I was talking about. I always made sure I took the lead, and from my wife's help, she ran the electrical side and the plumbing side, and from there on, thanks to God, alhamdulillah, as I say, we went on and on, strength to strength.
Independent businesses are vital to the sort of biodiversity of the economy, of, you know, British economy. Almost like a, you know, like a coral reef. There's something for everyone, you know, and, you know, we might be a small business, but we are just as important and just as loved by the customers around the area.
My grandmother had all the woodwork put in 1946 by a guy that used to work in the alleyway round the back there. It was all like old workshops, and one of the Italian guys, Capocci, he made all the wood for us. He was a friend of the family, so that's another member of the community that helped make the cafe.
The day I walked in this pub 35 years ago, I fell in love with it. I've never stopped having that love. And people like you and my neighbours, you know, it's just unique. I don't think you find this anywhere in the world, actually. I can go to all exotic places. I can't wait to come back here.
plan really to kind of create a kind of a musically creative hub at the Duke of York, and so sort of within that we you know, considered ways of doing that. One obviously was to have musicians coming and performing, but another was really to sort of open it up as an instrument that anyone could come and have a go at. A lot of the ukuleles were from my personal collection, which I was kind of overrun with, which is partly why I thought I should do this thing, because I didn't have space for all my ukuleles, and I thought, I'm kind of broke, so maybe I should sell some of these.
Essentially, you have a lot of individually minded people creating very individual projects in a business sense, or sometimes in a business and community sense. But generally, I think that's true of the whole area. I think the multiplicity of different original enterprises is actually, when you put them all together, it adds up to more than the sum of its parts. It creates a whole atmosphere to the area, which I don't think you actually find anywhere else in London.
It's always been a lovely area, always been a lot of immigrants and a great mix of people, always like a real mixing pot. And but it's getting better all the time, Bethnal Green. There's always more to do and see, and there's still loads of history around here, which is a great thing. Which we like new things, and we want to keep the history, and we want to make new history as well.
I'm a member of the East End Trades Guild because I've just seen things slowly altering around here. Lots of my customers are just really worried about what's going to happen in the future, and there's a sense of sort of community still around here, but I don't really want to see all the little businesses just fade away because the rents and the rates have gone up too much around here. And I think this East End Trade Guild will get a voice for us to get heard a little bit more and just not be washed away.
That toilet is already gone. They've sold it.
Yeah.
So where are they going to create another one for us?
One of the big issues that we've found out with the Guild is the fact that rents go up at an extortionate rate and very often drive these amazing places away, which means that people don't gather together, they don't talk to each other, they don't exchange ideas. To me, these small businesses are like schools or churches or other public buildings which should be treasured and recognised for their value.
It's hard work running a small business, very, very hard work, and it's 24/7. You don't, a lot of the time, have enough time to communicate with other traders in the area and think about the area as a whole and what's going on. So I think it's hugely important that there's some kind of communication that can go on between these traders so they can feel actually that they're all part of something, that they all have some kind of common goal that they can gaze at.
When you become a self-employed local businessman or businesswoman, then it's like not just you, it's somebody else and other people, and you tend to worry more. I mean, I've become more tactful, I can do more tasks. You're always energized because you need to be. You can't come in here in the morning at 8 o'clock and say, I'm not feeling well.
It's something that's probably come along at the right time, because it is very tough out there. It is very tough. You can't survive on your own.
But we pay about £700 a quarter for our rubbish to be taken away.
Yeah.
And recently, the other week, our baker was leaving behind, you know, the big crates?
Yeah.
That we couldn't physically put in a bag.
A lot of the time, we're all kind of doing our desperate things in our own way, and I think coming together just makes us stronger and makes us have a louder voice. So it's been really good to meet other businesses, get to hear their experiences of being in this area and really sort of share the lessons. It's been really helpful.
You want to talk to somebody in the council, or you want to get your point heard somewhere, and you just don't know where to start. And you phone up somebody at the council and they'll put you through to like 10 other different people, and they don't take you seriously anyway, they just think, oh, fob you off. Whereas like with this guild now, hopefully we've got someone who can like be our voice for us.
Information sharing is very important. For example, what one person pays rent on one side of the street, the other person might pay double. This side of the road we come under the city, the other side is Tower Hamlets. There's certain things that Tower Hamlets pays for and we don't, and vice versa. So I think at times it's very beneficial to share information and see what we can do about it.
I don't believe that our futures should be governed by the ebbs and flows of market forces. I think there's, I think we as responsible people in our communities can take charge of our lives, and I think this is a step towards doing that.
I kind of thank the area for giving my business a chance, actually.
We have reruns, eh? Take one, take two.